Hey, hey, good morning. It is Thursday, September 25th, and on my way to work. Another day, another dollar, as they say. Um, yeah, today I think I want to just quickly talk about gratitude. I think it's so important to have gratitude. Yesterday I talked about kind of starting off the day, saying it's going to be a wonderful day, and it's hard. I think if you put too much pressure on it, like you're expecting some sort of miracle. But I think if you go throughout your day just searching for those little things to be grateful for, um, you can really find the light in the day. You can find how wonderful it truly is. I mean, I think just being alive is such a blessing. I mean, even if we're struggling, even if you got some ailments or body aches or whatever's going on, the fact that you're still here today, hey, that's a blessing. You're still in the game. Have some fun, you know, have some fun with it. Play around, trial and error this. That's what life's all about. It's about trial and error. It's about figuring things out. It's about getting better, and be grateful that you have an opportunity to do that today. Um, and, at the very least, if you maybe feel like you can't get better, try to help someone else get better. That's what it's about. I feel like the root meaning of life is helping others, helping the next generation, improving humanity, one little bit, one little iota at a time, if needed. So, yeah, just be grateful that you have an opportunity today. You have some health, um, that you have some resources. Just find the little things. Find the little things if you're really that unhappy. But I think that if you have some I don't know, just happiness about like what's going on, where even if you don't, but if you just have something that you can hang on to, you can improve. You can improve today, and you can use that to improve tomorrow. And I feel like that's where your life can truly change, is compounding days, compounding, yeah, compounding days with the right habits, the right structure, the right discipline, you know, and that's where I've struggled, because I can compound days and weeks, but man, I really can't. If I'm being truly honest with myself, I really can't point to many moments in my life where I've really compounded months and years. Unfortunately, I just feel like for me, I see results and I get back maybe to some old habits, or maybe the universe tests me. Some old friends or flings come back into my life, and I allow them back, and kind of get distracted again. I've battled alcohol, and some drugs, light drug like cannabis, and you allow those things to come back into your life, and they just disrupt it because it's a slippery slope. Dopamine chasing, getting those cheap dopamine hits. I feel like that's how you become predictable. That's how you become controllable. That's how society starts to dictate your life. Is when you give in to those urges, when you give in to those cheap dopamine hits and those cheap pleasure moments. Unfortunately, because then you're not really thinking for yourself. You're letting your lower body, your lower maybe primal instincts, kind of thinking for you, and then boom, like you're predictable, and you know that's what the government, that's what the society, that's what corporations want. They want sheep. At the end of the day, they don't want critical thought. They don't want creative thinking. You know, so try to really lean in and get better today. Get to know yourself. Find some self awareness. Um, one other tip too, I think, is be mindful of everything, all the inputs coming in. As you develop some self awareness. And I just mean, like, if you're listening to like heavy metal or maybe just gangster rap, where it's maybe it's not so much the beats, but just so those words. I feel like a lot of hip hop has really good beats that you can vibe to, but the words sometimes are just kind of very, like, have that negative energy. Like horror movies, for example. Um, just things where there's like violence and things. Be mindful. It's like all those frequencies and vibes are going into your mind, whether you like it or not. Um, so maybe the suggestion I'd have, and sometimes I do this, is I just maybe on my car ride, I mean, I don't have the radio on. I just keep it silent. Maybe I'll put on some like classical music. Baroque music is supposed to be really good. Bach, Beethoven, all those like old school, like, the things that they say, oh, if you uh, put this music around babies, it can really help develop their mind. Think of it that way, because you are a sum of the vibes coming at you. And if you're in a negative environment constantly, man, that's just going to breed more negativity in your life. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be hard to break that pattern. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Just like, if you haven't had a drink in a long time and then you have that one, it's like, man, I'm just going to have one drink. But man, then that just lights up your brain. That cheap dopamine, it lights up your brain, and then you want to do more and more. And so, yeah, that would be the advice that I have is to sorry, there's a little traffic up here. It Yeah, it's just to allow that, and have developed that self-awareness, and try to allow just more higher frequencies. I'm not saying like watch rom-coms or things like that, but listen to just high vibe music, or maybe keep it silent. Watch a comedy, you know. You know, if you haven't laughed in a while, watch a comedy, man. Because yeah, I think laughter is also a great medicine. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I feel like I'm kind of losing my train of thought right now, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope everyone has a really great day, and much love and peace out.